Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a story time. I am doing this because whenever I do post story time videos, it helps me heal a little bit more from the situation. This situation has affected me extremely, and there's so much to say. I am going to keep some stuff out due to the whole legal aspect of it. There are a few things that I can't mention happened with this person that I will keep out for her own good, I guess. Just know that what I'm gonna tell you guys is 100% truthful. I have physical proof of all evidence as I have relayed to the authorities. Just know that I'm not saying everything that I could be saying, and this is just, you know, a portion of what has been happening. So I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera. Whenever I do story times, I try to think of all the details I can, so I'm sorry if I'm not giving you guys eye contact. This is my story, I guess, about how I had a terrible roommate experience. So just for a background, you guys, I initially picked my roommate, and we picked each other through Facebook group. Like, what people have been doing lately in the past few years is there's usually a Facebook group for your college, or your grade, or your class. Like, usually post something like saying, hey, I'm this type of person, message me if you think we'd be a good fit. We picked each other in the roommate request process, and then we were assigned a dorm off campus, and our room was really nice. I had a dorm tour up of that room. I took it down just because, like, I don't know, I just like don't really want it up right now. I'll do a new dorm tour eventually if that's something you guys are interested in. I'm a feminist, believe me. I will support women whatever they want to do, however they want to dress, but I'm just saying these events occurred. It started off really nicely. I went out like the first few days of being there. It was really fun. First night, which is fine. Again, this is not something to, you know, humiliate her, but this is just a fact. We had brought someone back the very first night we moved into our dorm, and did that while I was in the room trying to sleep. I don't need to explain what had happened because it's pretty apparent. I mean, I wasn't mad. I was just kind of like, oh, I want to go to sleep. Then we'd go out and everything was really fun. We went to a concert like the second day we were there, and it was fun, and it was good for the first few weeks. She did purchase something that would help her smoke weed. I'm not really going to go into detail because I don't really want to give specifics, but I was like fine with it at first, but then when she started smoking about 4 times a day and would wake me up in the middle of the night smoking, it kind of got not fun. I'm not saying I'm an angel, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Have I smoked weed before? Yes, I've talked about that on my channel. Have I drank before? Yes, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm just saying, like, it would wake me up. She'd do it when she woke up, after classes, before she went to bed, and then like usually in the middle of the night. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but just giving you a general timeline of how many times this would occur a day. Probably about 3 weeks into school, she had 3 friends over, and I was sitting on my bed. They were smoking in the room. The smell seeped through the door. RAs were called, then the cops were called. I was given an MIP, as well as the other 4 people in the room. I was very furious. Due to her, I got a minor in possession, which means that, like, I consumed marijuana or had marijuana on me. She did not say sorry once. If I couldn't get the charges dropped, I would have had to pay almost $200 in fines. She did not offer to pay that once. If I was the person that got someone in trouble for smoking, even when they weren't, I would be so apologetic. I would feel awful. I would offer to pay their fines because it was my fault that they got in trouble. That was fun. So the process I had to go through was going through the school. I had to get witness statements from all 4 of them confirming that I was not smoking. Then, due to those witness statements, the school found me not responsible for the charges I was given. Then I had to go to court. I had to give that letter to the judge, and the judge told me that he couldn't pardon my charge. So then I had to go talk to a prosecutor, and he dropped my charge. So I don't have one anymore. After I had gotten my MIP, I told her that she will have to pay for like my next grocery run or something, which would consist of about $30, and I went to the grocery store when I ran out of food, and due to the fact that I was going to have to pay $200 for a fine, keep that in mind, that's why I asked her. So I didn't explain this very well, but what I was trying to say was that I literally would have 0 money to pay for my food since I would have to pay a $200 fine, and since she was the one that caused me to have to pay that $200 fine for nothing, I would need her to help her pay for my food. He basically freaked out on me, said that's not fair. She doesn't realize that what she caused is her fault, I guess. She didn't see the reasoning on helping me pay. It would have been $20 to $30 and I still had to pay $200. She continued to smoke. I started leaving the room and going down and sitting outside on a bench when she would do it because I didn't want to be in the room when it happened, and I didn't want to, run the risk of getting caught myself for not doing anything. This next occurrence happened like October 26th, I would say. I was sitting at a desk drinking soup in like a glass bowl, and I had a metal spoon or whatever, and then I had my friend, and then my roommate had a friend over. Those three smoked. Then an RA came. It was like reported that it smelled really bad, and so the smell had seeped out the door once again. Even though she had put a towel under the door, RAs were like, why did it take so long for you to open the door? And I, covering them, was like, oh, that was just me setting my bowl down, and so I just set it back down, and it sounded like her placing her smoking device on the ground. With the glass clicking the ground, it sounded the exact same as my bowl hitting the desk. They left after that. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. Our hall always smelled like weed, so we just kind of blamed it on that. Other situation that happened was,
so I accidentally used her real name filming this part of the video, but basically what happened is she thinks I broke her smoking thing. I know what it's actually called, but I just don't want to mention it. She thinks I broke it by knocking it over on accident or something like that.
She thinks I shattered something in the inside of it. I don't know anything about this stuff, so she expects me to pay her $180, despite the fact that I did not break it. She's been basically telling me if I don't pay her by Thanksgiving that we're gonna have problems. I think Sunday the 30th it was. I had gone bowling. That was really fun, and there was like 5 of us, I think, where we got food and then we came back to the room, and they wanted to smoke, so I just like called my mom because I was like bored and I didn't want to sit outside on the phone and just like sit there and not do anything, and I hadn't talked to her for a while. So I left the room and I went downstairs outside. Yeah, I went and sat on a bench that was close to where we usually get food. Called my mom and told her about how Halloween was going, and that was fun. Talked for like literally an hour. She was supposed to text me when I could come back up. That was kind of the system we had, and I never heard back after like 40 minutes, which was like kind of weird. So I texted her, and then I texted a girl that was in the room as well, and they said like, don't come up, there's cops in the room. So she had gotten in trouble once again. I have a Finsta like everybody else. I don't have any posts on it anymore. I posted something and it was like me smiling. It was like black and white, and the caption was like, when your life's falling apart and your body hurts all the time because you're sad, and like school's awful and makes you want to die and do all like da 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 da. And I like, obviously that whole thing was not like a suicidal like, oh help me, like it was literally just like me being like, life sucks right now, and like I'm being honest. I had 23 followers on that account at the time. I do not know this is all, I don't know if this is true. I kind of think what happened is she still didn't believe me that I didn't tell on her. She thinks I did, so I don't know. I asked her about it and she said no, obviously. So basically somebody took that screenshot, took a screenshot of that post, sent it to the school, and then somebody from like case management or something contacted my parents. Was like, do you know your daughter's suicidal? And like I honestly don't know who would go through the process of doing that if they weren't trying to like make me mad or something. So again, I'm not for sure on if she did that. Shouldn't assume, but like just because I'm pretty sure she still thought that I told on her, she wanted to do something to like get back at me. I don't know for sure. That's just kind of like what I'm thinking. Because then another incident of when I started to realize that the people that I was friends with didn't want to be around me. We initially planned to be, there were 5 of us, and we initially planned to be the Spice Girls probably within the first month and a half of school, and I thought we were going to do that, and so I asked one of the girls if I could borrow one of her outfits, like an outfit for the Spice Girl that I was going to be, and she's like, we're not doing that anymore, but you can use it or something, and I was just kind of like, that's weird. Then my roommate had been Mrs. Claus, I think, was one of her costumes, And just keep in mind, we shared a friend group, or I thought we did. We did share one for, you know, like the first 2.5 months, and then eventually they just got sick of me for no reason, I guess. About 7 of them, they dressed up as holidays, but didn't feel the need to tell me at all, even though we were supposed to be friends. Those girls, those 7 girls that I was friends with, had no problem in not inviting me to like be a part of that. Also, I got kicked out of group chats for no reason. A friend had also told me, she said, I have never seen people go out of their way to make somebody feel like not included more than I have seen these people. I could tell it was very obvious that these people did not want me to be their friend anymore, and like somebody from the outside could see that they were, you know, trying to exclude me.
Another quick thing that I wanted to add was that I kind of started to realize that they didn't want to be friends with me when 2 of the girls would beg my roommate to go out with them, and then when I asked to go out with them, they would ignore my texts, and then I'd see them out and they'd just kind of like look at me and be like kind of awkward. So that's also another time I realized that they weren't really my friends, I guess.
These girls aren't mad at me, and you know, if they do take her side in this situation, that's fine, but I don't want people in my life that will take her side in this. And I'm not saying that she's the worst person on earth, because she's not. She did do like nice things to me. I moved like to this space. I realized that the environment that I was in, living in, I guess, in the whole friend situation, was definitely hurting my mental stability. Let her pick the side of the bed she wanted, and I let her pick the side of the closet she wanted, because I don't really, you know, I'm easygoing, I don't mind. She took up 2/3 of the closet, had 1/3, and then she decided to put her shoe rack underneath all of my clothes, so my clothes were like stacked on top of her, like my jeans were like smushed up of the shoe rack. I was pretty mad when she tried to put that on my side. I told her I don't want it there because she had 2/3 of the closet, still put some of her stuff on my side on the top part.
And just so everybody knows, I'm not lying, these are comments on my dorm tour, so you can literally see other people can tell from the video that she has put her stuff in places that were not hers, I guess, just to say.
You know, as I'm nice and as I'm like a peacemaker, I let her do that. She started to say that I'm ungrateful, and like, because her mom would buy her stuff through Amazon and she'd just send it to her, and so she'd have these packages like all the time. And so her mom bought her like a diffuser, like an essential oil diffuser, TV. She brought a TV. I told her I didn't need a printer, I didn't need a TV. We first moved in, so she still brought them. She was saying that like I'm ungrateful because I get to use those things, and I told her like I didn't need them. I had a TV at home I could have brought. I had multiple printers I could have brought. I don't need that in a dorm.
I also want to add that she bought without needing it. We didn't need this. She bought a standing oscillating fan, even though we had AC and heating. She also bought a ton of like extra hook things to put up, even though I didn't need them or said I needed them. And she also brought like a bunch of different shelving and like storage things, even though I didn't need them and I did not use them as well.
And so I was saying, like, that's all yours. Like, I'm not saying that I own any of that, whatever. She told me I needed to tell her thank you whenever I used something that was hers, which would be the diffuser, the essential oil diffuser that I had to turn on so our room wouldn't smell like weed. TV, which I watched without her once. I would listen to the TV when she had it on. Like, I literally used it once. I used the printer a couple times, but I can go on campus to print my stuff, so I didn't need any of that, so that was cool. When I had to go home, this was like 2 weeks ago. I was sick of kind of being treated not very nicely. Right when I got home, I got a text from her saying, basically, she's like, I know you told on me, which I didn't, you know, you need to find new friends because I'm sick of feeling responsible for you. Like, you need to find new friends because I made my friends and all that. Even though we shared a friend group and had been friends with the same people since the start of the school year, told me that for my mental health situation, she felt like she was responsible for keeping me stable or something like that. I responded to her, I said, I didn't tell on you, you know, yada yada yada. Then she texted me, and I said, thank you for ruining my time away at home. Like, she had made me so anxious because she was like bombarding me with all these like hateful texts. And she's like, I realize now that I shouldn't have texted you, like, we can talk about this on Sunday when you're back. And so I told her, oh, you took it upon yourself to text me even when you knew I was at home, so we can finish talking about it now, or we're not going to talk about it at all. Like, I've said what I needed to say. I don't want to hear like any more like mean things from you, basically. And she said, well, I'm sorry, but I need to talk about it, like, I'll see you Sunday. Due to a threat that I received, I had somebody call me from the school. I can't remember what department they're in. It's not really, like, necessary. They asked me if I wanted to if they wanted me to investigate the threat. I said no multiple times because I, one, didn't want to get her in trouble, two, I didn't want to exacerbate my anxiety due to, you know, more investigations into what's happening. Again, trying to protect her, trying to make her life easier, as easy as possible. And it's very clear she had no respect for me in that sense, or at all, I guess.
Another thing that I'd like to add is that same person that called me asked if I would like her to be kicked out of the dorms, and I said no and said that I could switch instead. Once again, trying to make her life as easy as possible.
We went into my old dorm to pack all my stuff up, me and my parents.
Also, when she's texting me about needing to find new friends, she basically told me that I needed to leave everything that I bought, which was our entire bathroom thing. Like, we had a bathroom organizer, I bought our toilet paper holder, our little trash can. Literally, I bought our entire bathroom. I bought a rug, I bought a lamp, and I bought, like, without the stuff that I bought, our room would be bare. And basically she said just leave it because she bought everything else. And just like I said, the only things that, like, she literally bought was, like, extra stuff for her and, like, stuff that I said I didn't need. And when I told my parents this, you should have seen their faces. They're like, yeah, okay, that makes a ton of sense, which makes no sense. Like, yeah, let me leave all the stuff that I bought just because you bought stuff too. Like, yeah, okay, that makes 0 sense.
I went into the freezer. I had some frozen food in there that I was, like, excited to eat because I hadn't had it, I hadn't been home. When I went in there, it was gone. It was all of my food had been gone, and so I was like, that's nice. Later found it in the trash, so I set it out on a box or something so she could see that I knew that she had taken my food out of the freezer so they could put their alcohol in the freezer.
Sorry I keep coming in with little blurbs, but I'm also about 95% sure she stole one of my Kylie lip kits because it was in my room when I left to come home for the week, and then when I came back to move my stuff, it was just gone. So I'm not saying she did steal it, but I'm pretty sure she did.
So basically everything has been, just like I'm saying, this isn't everything that happened. Oh, another thing that happened was she'd kick me out of the room to be with guys. And I'm not slut shaming, that's just something that happened. So I'd sit in the hall, put earbuds in so I didn't have to hear anything. I'm a homie because I did that. Like, I was like, you know, girl, get it, you know, do your thing. It's been so severe that I have had to speak with hall director yesterday. I had been in contact with the person I spoke with today, like, I think it was victims assistance. I had to meet with her today, met with a police officer yesterday and my hall director, and had to tell this whole story to them, both of them. I was assigned a case number, and a protection order is put in place right now due to harassment. I was told today that if she violates that, she will be arrested. I found out that she already had violated it, but she texted me yesterday after she received email with it in it, and I was told that she had opened it at 11:30. I'm the woman that allowed the email to be sent so she could tell when she opened it. I received text from my old roommate at about like 11:45 right before I went to class. That was nice. So I had a full-on panic attack right before I went to class, and all of this has affected me to where sometimes I can't get out of bed because I'm so anxious, and I was at the point where I was afraid to sleep in my own room, in my own dorm, in my own bed. I was scared to do that because I was afraid of the harassment. I'm just telling you the severity of what has been going on and why I am so, like, distraught all the time. Okay, so I couldn't finish filming the video. It, like, literally got to me too much emotionally, so I had to take a break. I can't tell you how much better I feel after speaking on what I have said already. It's literally almost midnight. I have no makeup on. I can't go to sleep without getting this out. Everything that I'm saying in terms of her partying is prevalent on her social media, so it's not like I'm outing her for anything. Like, she has been public with this stuff, so there's no way you guys can find out who this is. I mean, it's just gotten so bad for me that I can't go to sleep until 5, 6 a.m. sometimes. Sometimes I go for days without eating. My chest hurts so bad. Like, I don't know if you've ever had, like, paranoia or extreme anxiety. There's pain in my back ribs, and it goes all the way to the front whenever I breathe. It's, like, very sharp, like, stabbing pain. The other day, my roommate came in, and she's like, are you okay? Like, you sound like you're holding your breath, and I am. Like, I don't breathe anymore. Like, it's just very strange. But if I would have seen a video like this maybe years ago, I would have been like, oh, don't let people get to you. But, I mean, it's at the point where, like, I have a no contact order, and in order to have one of those, you have to have physical evidence and reason for why they put one in place, and I've shown that to the police and to the school, and they have granted me one. They suggested it. It wasn't my idea. Just know that, like, this isn't, like, just, you know, girl drama. It's, like, an actual problem. So that's all I'd like to say, I think. So I hope this is all over soon. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and oh, I got stuck in an elevator yesterday too. That was cool. I think some people are just meant to have, like, unfortunate events happen in their life so they can, like, make videos about it and entertain other people, which is definitely me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very, very much, and I'm really happy to be back, and I will see you soon.